This is the plaintiff, Carolyn Lindgren. She says she hired a painter to paint her house. And not only did he walk off the job after getting paid, he did a lousy, sloppy job. Now her house is a paint-splattered mess. The defendant has her money, and she's not about to let anyone get over on her like that. So she's suing for the $1,600 she's owed. This is the defendant, Todd McGillivray. He says the plaintiff's as cheap as they come, but he did agree to paint an accent wall in each of the rooms in her 6,000-square-foot palace. The plaintiff, however, kept adding more and more work, expecting him to paint every wall in the home for no additional money. Bottom line, he spent 100 hours at the lady's house and deserves every penny of the money she gave him. He's accused of getting painted into a corner. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,600 for defamation of character.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigant 10 minutes, one.
Thank you, Douglas. Caroline Lindgren?
Yes.
You are suing Todd McGillivray
Yes.
for $1,600 that you paid him that you want returned because according to you, you have to do the whole job over. You are counterclaiming against her $1,600 for defamation of character. Let's hear from you first.
Okay, I was bidding out an interior paint job on my home. I had met Todd at a gathering at a former friend's house, and he said that he was a painter and he was interested in bidding on the job. So he came over to my house and he concluded that he would do it for $2,400.
Okay.
I then gave him we signed a contract, and I have that here, for me to pay him three $800 installments. I paid him the first $800 installment, and as he came and did the job, it varied in hours and days that he would do it. It was whenever he had time, but he knew that he was supposed to finish by January 1 of 13.
Let me see the contract.
The contract was on October 13th of 2012. And I was supposed to give him the second $800 when the job was half done. However, he finished approximately a third of the job, and due to personal hardship, he asked if I would front him the second $800 because he had fallen through a window on a job. He had hurt his hand and his back, and he had to pay for the window, and he had some guys that were looking for him coming around his house for some money, and he had to pay his girlfriend, whom he lived with, money, and she had no idea that I had given him any money thus far, so he asked for the second installment.
That didn't sound a little fishy to you?
I felt sorry for him. I kind of thought we were friends because we had been in the same social circles a few times, and he seemed very nice, and I did trust him.
Okay, so you paid him the other $800.
I paid him the other $800. He came back and finished one wall only with one coat of paint. It was all see-through, and I have pictures of what it looks like, and I never saw him again. He had then said he was going on The Voice, and he was going to win The Voice, and he needed time to practice, and he was going to have
Isn't that special?
time
No, did you
away.
say you were going on The Voice?
I did go out to audition Austin. Yes.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yes, I did.
Did you make it or not?
I did not. That's, or it would be in Austin, Your Honor. But
Okay. All right, so go on.
So after The Voice, I called him again, said, how did it go? And yet he still never came back to finish the paint job.
Okay, do you have pictures of the paint job?
Yes,
you
I
want
do.
all your money back, you want all your money back because according to you, it's not just that he didn't finish, but you don't like what he
It
did.
was poor workmanship, and
Okay.
you'll see the pictures reflect that as such. This was the wall that he came back to finish, and you can see the see-through. This is that same wall, and he got paint in the woodwork, and it's not been able, I could not get it out. That's where he patched a wall. He just left it like that. It's been like that for the holidays, for Easter, continue. Another patch that he did, he left like that. This is how my house looks now. He left it that way.
That's the same patch,
Yes,
right?
it's actually half the size of what he claims my house is. There's another patch. Oh, that's my daughter's bathroom. He did not put the lights back. The can lights, I don't know where they are. He didn't put them back. He got paint splashed on the trim, on the floor, on the toilet.
Wait a minute, my dear. Now I'm watching Disney.
That's in the kitchen.
No, that's Mickey
That's not
Mouse.
in the kitchen.
What, Minnie Mouse, I mean, hold on.
It's Minnie Mouse in the kitchen.
Right. Hold on a second, okay.
And that is the dining room that he painted, but he never moved the case in order to finish that wall. That's behind the dining room where...
Wait, that's behind the what? That last
That's
picture?
behind the dining room case where he just
The
stopped
hutch
painting.
that he didn't move? He just
No,
didn't move it and
he
didn't paint
move
behind it?
No, he didn't.
Oh my gosh.
That's the other side. I have the pictures on my phone also.
I have them here too. Hold on.
Oh,
Let's do
okay.
this differently. Hold on. I want you to come over here.
With the
You can leave the computer right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Now I have a series of pictures that you've given. I just kind of like you to go through them. Just wait 1 second. Okay. Which bathroom is this?
That's the hall bathroom.
Okay. What are you showing me in that picture?
He just left it like that. The towel holder, he got paint on the woodwork, on the trim,
Did
on
he
the
use
floor.
on the floor? Did he use tape or no? He didn't use any tape. Just
No, I never,
freestyle?
not that I saw ever.
This is your daughter's bathroom with
Right,
green
where
paint.
the paint, right.
The
and he
light
didn't put the
fixtures are
can-
missing.
Correct.
Do you know where the light fixtures are?
Your Honor, man, the can
Okay.
is still in the ceiling, and
Yeah. Where's the part that goes in and covers
I
it?
have no idea.
Okay.
I certainly wouldn't have taken it with me.
That's behind the hutch.
Behind the hutch,
That's
right.
just not painted at all. Didn't
Right,
move the hutch.
right. He did not finish painting around the smoke detector. He did not finish painting around the fan. He just left it that way. He didn't put the plate covers back on. And the laundry room, this is my laundry room sink. There's 3 pictures of paint running on the sink. I've scrubbed it, soaked it with bleach, paint on the woodwork, more paint on the woodwork in the laundry room.
Okay. So while the work is going on, go ahead and go back. While the work is going on, do you say anything to him about being careless?
Yes, I would point out, can you touch that up? You got paint on the woodwork there. Is this going to come off? And he always assured me he was not finished with the job. By the time he finished the job, I would be very happy.
Okay. And so when do you finally realize he's never going to come back? Does he talk to you and tell you, hey, I underbid this? What does he say to you?
He tells me that I can afford it, and he never planned on doing the job for that price. And I said, but we have a contract. You promised me. And I kept telling him, and he kept saying, I don't want to hear that again. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing it anymore.
But why wasn't he doing it anymore?
He got the $1,600, and that's what he was happy with. And
Okay, let
he
me hear
felt
from you.
It was.
Hi, thank you very much. First of all, I can assure you that all of that paint that you see spilt all over there, all the different colors I painted, I left those color paints at her house. But I'm just saying straight up, there's no way from those pictures I saw that I've been painting a long time. I do not leave paint drips coming down.
Well, they're all over.
Well, I'm saying someone put it there for the pictures. There's no way I would finish a room, go to another room, then to another room, and her not say, hey, what about that paint running down my trim? What about this? What about now all of a sudden all these pictures appear?
What was your contract with this lady? What was it for? You're supposed
It
to do
was
what?
to paint all the accent walls, okay?
To paint accent walls?
Correct. And then
According
in the
to
end,
your statement, it's 1 accent wall per room?
is basically where we
Okay,
started.
can you tell me
at.
why your contract doesn't say that? Because your contract, and I quote, says as follows: paint interior specified entire house. And you wrote the words entire house. So
Well, the house could, the entire house and the trim and everything that needed to be done could never be done for less than $8,000 to $10,000. I said to her, get 2 bids from different painting contractors. I'll still go in for under $1,000. She said, absolutely not. You're going to finish my house for $2,400. I said, I cannot afford.
wait, I'm sorry. She has a contract with you where you quote her $2,400. And you
for
both
the
signed it. It's a
when I
contract.
write specified walls, Your Honor, ma'am, it's the accent walls to a room, not to paint.
It says paint interior entire house.
Right.
Okay, so where would that be 1 accent wall per room? How would that
it
be
doesn't
that?
say specified rooms. It says specified walls.
Okay, but how is it you get to specify when you've decided that you've underbid it?
Because, Your Honor, the night I walked through there with her before I wrote the proposal, she handed me a card that had $2,400 written on it, no proposal, no contract, and said I wasn't going
So then when you look at it and you decide, I underbid this, how do you get to do that? And then just walk away and leave her with this mess? Because the pictures I'm looking at cannot be your best work.
Absolutely not. And I believe that some of that paint was put on and those pictures were taken and then
You know how
wiped
people
off.
are always doing that, ruining their own house?
There's
You know, it's perfect, but I want to ruin it. Let me spatter paint all over my butt. You know how people are always doing that?
No.
As opposed to the painter is dripping when he paints, which is
okay.
way more likely. I mean, come on.
I don't think so.
No, you think that she splattered stuff on perfectly good trim that didn't need painting just to be able to nail you.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely believe that.
Why? What
I
did you
don't
do
know.
to her that would make her
but I
want to do that? Because if you
absolutely
did such a good job and you painted exactly what the deal was, then what on earth would be the reason for her to do that to you?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can a painter be really sloppy during a job and pull it together at the end and make it good?
Sure.
Even if it's just a mess going through the job?
Oh, yeah. My house looks like a disaster when I'm cleaning it, but the end result is always fabulous.
Yeah, but it was a disaster when you started is the problem. I mean, is it a bad sign when it's a mess?
No, not necessarily, because I paint my toes and I'm not very good. So initially it looks like a disaster, but then you clean it up in the end and it's golden.
That's disgusting. What do you think?
I feel like painting is a sloppy job to begin with, so it's hard to kind of judge in the beginning. And
Okay. 3 votes for the painter going inside the courtroom.
She wanted me to paint the entire house for $2,400. And I said to her,
But that's what you said you'd do.
I said I would be homeless and have nothing. It would take me another month. I would make like $2 an hour. She said, I don't care.
Yeah, I saw that in your
signed this
answer to the
contract.
complaint.
You're
You
gonna
say
paint
she
the
has
house.
a
And I said, no, I'm not painting it.
She has a 6,000 square foot house. The place is huge. She told me she only wanted an accent wall painted. So you just wanted one wall in each room painted?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, come on up. You were what to her?
Her significant other.
Okay, and were you there during any of the discussions that they had?
During their conversations.
No, about the contract.
Jeff was there when we, talked about the $2,400. He was at the party, and then he also knew because I had told him he agreed to do it, and then he saw the
But see,
contract
I don't understand.
later.
The contract specifically says any unforeseen extras or changes will be at an additional charge. So where are the change orders, the additional contracts where you
There
add?
are no additional
That's because she
contracts.
wasn't adding anything. I mean, that tells me she wasn't adding anything. You know what happened? At the time, $2,400 sounded good, and then now $2,400 doesn't sound good.
Exactly. It would have been about $2 an hour.
Okay, well, tough for you.
Okay, then it's
don't
tough for
bid
me.
it that way.
Then
But
it's
see, you
tough for
can't
me.
bid it that way, then do a bad job, then walk off.
I don't believe it. The paint on there was mine. I'll stick with that till I die.
Okay, stick
I
with
know-
that till you
I know
die. In the
better.
meantime, I'm just going to rule. Verdict for the
Okay,
plaintiff,
wonderful.
$1,600. Tell me about your defamation of character claim.
I have nothing else to say. I'm done.
But you don't you want
done.
to tell me about
Have
your
a nice
defamation
day.
of character? Okay, bye-bye. Do you know, well, let's see what he said. Let's see his defamation of character claim. Counterclaim, $1,600. I was losing money every second. She became upset with me and told me we thought we were friends, but friends don't let friends work for a quarter of the standard wage. I wasn't going to run myself into homelessness for this woman when she has a couple of $1 million. He's kind of angry.
Where did he get that?
I don't know, but he's angry. Okay, here we go. Countersue for $1,600 for defamation of character. She told everyone it was a bad painter. Okay.
I never used his name, Your Honor.
I don't care if you use his name. If he's a bad painter, he's a bad painter. Truth is a
was me.
defense. It's not like, so you're telling me
He
don't
did.
use him, he's a bad painter.
That
Then
was
I
me
told her
telling
boyfriend Jeff, then she told her boyfriend Jeff that I was stalking her. Was he stalking you?
Yes.
Well, how?
Well, he pulled his car into the driveway, flashed the lights, was sounding the horn, and it was threatening to my children and I. It
How do you know it was
scared
him?
me. It looked exactly like his car. It was a little after 10 o'clock at night. It was very dark. I don't know 100%. No one else has ever done that in the 10 years that I've lived there. And it happened after I threatened to call his girlfriend Debbie and tell her that he indeed got $1,600 from me because he had told her he hadn't gotten a dime. He hadn't received a dime from me.
Okay, based on the pictures that you've shown me, I'm going to order him to return the $1,600. And based on the fact that there's no one prosecuting the counterclaim because he stormed off angry that I pointed out the obvious, I am going to dismiss the counterclaim against you. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the defendant was quite angry as he stormed right through here and out the exit. And what's your feeling coming out? You're not quite as mad, it seems like.
No, I feel like justice prevailed. I feel it's very unfortunate because I thought we were friends and it was very hurtful that our friendship meant obviously little to him.
And the house is now in the condition that you exhibited here in the courtroom?
That's correct.
What do you do about that?
I'll have to hire somebody else to fix it. It's a mess.
All right, bring the pictures back. All right, Harvey?
You know, if somebody's working for you and they're not doing a good job as you watch the job go along, you should tell them then and there. Don't wait for the job to be done. Tell them along the way. It will serve you well. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.